Okay, so we're on the air again. Yeah, I mean this isn't the most well organized live stream, but we're getting used to it.
It happens, man. It happens.
It does indeed. Okay, so is the chat there yet? Of course not. It's not gonna be. Motherfuck. Well, what are you gonna do? You know?
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah, and maybe it might have something to do with the fact that they're changing over too.
Yeah, that could be true. That could be true.
Because when I streamed the other night, and I streamed directly onto YouTube, and I had no problems at all. So the chat was right there, like it says. You know, like when you were reading the shit where it said the chat will be right there. It was right there. So I don't know what the fucking problem is now. Whatever.
Now recopy everything.
Yeah, totally. Oh man.
Paste. Paste.
Huh.
Boom. All right.
Maybe
there we go.
As a new user. There it is. Okay, 2.1 OverDoseVapes.
Yeah.
Yeah, still no live chat. I honestly don't have any idea why this is happening this way, guys. So, and the comments on my stream are even unavailable. So, like regular comments. So, I don't know.
Yeah, we got one comment. Not yet.
It's fucking motherfuck, dude.
Dude.
I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just not going to worry about it. All right. So we were talking about regs. We were talking about what's going to happen afterwards. You know, you're right. I think there was a lot of organizations that were doing the right thing, like CASA and like Not Blowing Smoke. There was these organizations in place, and they do have some money behind them. Companies like Enjoy, those guys put up a ton of fucking cash. People think Enjoy is like owned by Marlboro or whatever. It's not. I've had a lot of interactions with those guys. They're good people. Yeah, they put a lot of money to trying to fight these regulations.
Good people.
What's that?
The Enjoy guys are a fantastic group of people.
They're super cool. They really are.
Oh yeah, the Artisan line, fucking great e-liquid, you know, and everybody thinks that because they sell cigalikes that they're part of the big tobacco.
Yeah, because they've always been around. Like they were around when I first started, like 2009. The first time I tried to start vaping, they were already a company.
Right.
So I don't know. You know, I think that there's going to be some problems. I think there's going to be obviously we're going to lose a lot of small businesses. I think that's there's no avoiding that. I think that's going to happen.
I've already seen a couple of local shops being like, you know, I can't keep up with the regs. I don't want to not be able to service my customers. You know, I'm done. I'm out. We've had about 3 or 4 shops already in the area close. So,
you know, and that is a big problem, them not being able to directly interact and guide their customers, which is like unlike any other business I've ever heard of in my life. That's unlike any regulations I've ever heard of. You know, like, no, you can't tell your customers about the products they're buying. It's insane, you know. But I think there's even bigger problems, like when we start talking about taxes. I read somewhere that there's certain states that when the FDA does start kicking in and taking taxes, like if a state, like somewhere like Chicago or something, right? Like if they decide, I think it was Chicago, that they decided to start taxing e-liquid like tobacco products. And as soon as they passed that regulation, every shop owed back taxes on every bottle of e-liquid in the shop.
40. What was it? I think it was like a 45% tax increase.
It was like half. Yeah, it was like half of what you were already paying.
Yeah. It was actually the city of Chicago did it.
Yeah.
Also nailed them with an indoor vaping ban to go along with the Clear Air Act. You know, the vice president candidate Kane did it to fucking Indiana not too long ago too. 30-40% tax on vapor products. Same thing happened with I believe New Jersey, I think, was another one of the states. And I know Cali has some pretty harsh regs coming up as well.
I mean, it hasn't happened yet, but there is legislation being that's going through all the process right now. Luckily for us, politics takes fucking forever if they can even get shit done. So I mean, so it's going to be a while before we start getting hit real hard. And I think that's kind of the case with the nation. But you're seeing little things happen, like the ban on buying stuff online. And I think there's like 5 states: Arkansas, Utah.
Yep.
There's some more. I mean, I'm sorry, I don't know them all on the top of my head, but there's quite a few, and that alone is a huge blow. Because I mean, someone like me, I buy most of my shit online. If they were to shut that down today, I don't know what I would do. Honestly, I have no idea.
You'd be fucked.
I can't afford to buy shit. I would love to buy everything from my local B&M. I would, totally. But I can't afford to. And they have overhead. They have people that they have employees to pay. They have rent to pay. I get it. They can't give me the same prices. So it is what it is. I think that shit's, here's a controversial opinion. I think that some regulation is okay. I honestly do. I think that we need some regulation.
Well, I mean, we agree with, the 18 plus, 21 plus, depending on the state. We agree with the child-proof bottling. We agree with taking the childish labeling and all that stuff and making it more classy. Like as an industry, we agree with that stuff. You have the companies that are coming out, putting out an e-liquid, hyping the crap out of it, having a goofy fucking cartoon character on there that looks like a child's TV show on Saturday morning. And how do you expect kids not to want to look at it and touch it and buy it,
Kids are already attracted to it, but beyond marketing to kids. I mean, if you see kids, like if you're outside blowing clouds and shit, you'll see kids, teenagers and shit. They are drawn to it.
Oh yeah,
I don't know what it is, but they are definitely drawn to that shit, man. And so, I mean, it's already like that's already I can see that being a problem. But I don't think it's nearly as big a problem as they say it is.
It's definitely not as big as a problem as they say it is. Out of all of my friends that are in this area that have kids in the teenage demographic, only 2 have actually asked me to talk to their kids about vaping. And I said, they're too young. Once they hit 18, this was before Massachusetts changed to 21 across the board. Once they hit 18, by all means, they can come and talk to me. Now, if they're smoking butts and you want to get them a cigalike instead of giving into buying in big tobacco, by all means, please give them that healthier choice. But I will not advocate, my views on it on you, because it's ultimately your responsibility because they're your child.
I mean, and we're getting into real touchy shit here, because I think that you're right, that if a 16-year-old kid, all right, that's when I started smoking, 16. Now, if a 16-year-old kid, man, wants to fucking switch and he's already smoking, it's hard to say that that's a bad idea, because I don't think that's a bad idea. But do I think that also maybe some kids might start vaping first? I think that some kids might, but I don't think that they're painting it to be like an epidemic. Like there's billions of kids starting vaping.
Saying that 30% of the kids who have tried vaping, 30% of the kids who have used e-cigarettes, 100% of them are addicted to it. Yet studies actually show that not even 13% have picked it up a second time after trying it that first time. But they end up getting more hooked to to traditional cigarettes because it's more accessible, because vape shops will not allow you in unless you're of legal age. You can walk into a convenience store and have some homeless guy down the street buy you a pack of butts.
That's what we all used to do, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Give me a pack of fucking Camels and a fucking bottle of vodka.
Or that you make friends with the owner, local fucking hole in the wall place,
Yep.
Total bodega. You walk in there and you buy a pack of butts for $2 off, cash slid under a fucking newspaper, and he passes you a pack of cigarettes inside your bag with your coat. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. No, for sure. And you're right. I think that the vape industry and the vape shops that I know have been way more careful to keep kids out because they know that stigma is going to be attached to it. But, when I was talking about like regulations, for me, what I was more interested in was lab results. Right. I want to know what's in a juice. That's the most important thing to me. Like, I know it's going to cost money, and I know that that's going to be a drag on some companies, but I have to know what I'm putting in my fucking body. That's why I started vaping. So I knew. Exactly.
I mean, you went from 7,000 chemicals to 4 ingredients.
Exactly.
On the typical, you went to 4 ingredients. And who knows? I mean, again, we're all, even vapors who've been around since 07, 08, 09 when it first started are still learning and figuring out the curve. And we have great people like Dr. Faucelinos looking into everything that has to do with what's inside e-cigarettes, e-liquid, anything from the cigalikes to volume vaping and comping and everything, and what the repercussions are going to ultimately be in the long run. But it's going to take time. And with the regulations, if you're going to stifle the growth of an industry that's just really in its young years, how can we move forward for a healthier alternative to get away from traditional tobacco?
Yeah, I mean, you got to have time to develop the industry, I think, for sure. I think that a lot of companies that were taking the steps to do lab results preemptively were smart. There was a lot of companies that did that. I mean, like Vapor DNA did it for every product they sell, even though they don't manufacture those products.
Right.
So that's smart. But I think that for me, that's the only regulation I really give a fuck about is tell me what I'm vaping.
Right. Let me know what the actual ingredients are 100%. Don't just give me a Prop 65 warning that nicotine is addictive and this might cause cancer. Because, again, I haven't heard of anybody developing COPD or cancer because of vaping.
As soon as I started vaping, I stopped getting bronchitis every year. Every year, without fail. As soon as the winter time started, I would get bronchitis because of smoking. Every fucking year.
I have yet to have a really bad asthma attack. I have yet to have a really bad case of bronchitis. And I have actually skated by the last 18 months without getting a sinus infection.
Yeah.
And chronic sinus infections every year, 3 or 4 times a year, bronchitis at least twice, and laid up in bed. I have not felt better. I can chase after my 5-year-old kid without getting winded.
Yeah, it's nice to actually be able to go and take a walk with my dog, for like more than a block without, starting to feel like I'm going to die. It's nice waking up in the morning and not having to hack up black chunks of shit,
Right. Long butter.
That was the worst, standing in the shower for 20 minutes fucking hacking up garbage. And it was quick. It was like, that's what was so amazing about vaping is that like within 6 months, I felt like a whole different person. I was tasting shit differently, smelling shit differently.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But I think that, I think that some people are going to take issue with me saying that I think that there should be some regulation because I think there's a lot of people that say no regulation. But I think that's being a little naive about the way that business works in America.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, we have to. Again, like I said, we were self-regulating, already on the things that needed to be regulated. Now, if we find that something is in e-liquid that is harmful and we have to make changes, we'll make those changes, but the science needs to be there. And in order for the science to be able to be there, is you can't regulate the crap out of an industry and kill it and then develop the science behind it and then have it all government controlled. You know what I mean? Because then nobody's going to want to buy into it, you know?
And here's the thing is, like, if they were really just worried about like the health effects, then why are they going to put regulations on hardware? That's what I don't understand. Like, what does hardware have to do with anything to do with health effects? You know what I mean? Like, so it just shows me they're just trying to attack the industry. I mean, honestly, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to shut down the industry.
100%. I mean, again, like I said before, taxable revenue. You know, if they can lump in, you know, a tube mech and say it's a tobacco product, a regulated device and say it's a tobacco product because it falls under the ends category for them, you know, they can tax that because it's delivering a tobacco product. Which, again, you know, I mean, you have more nicotine in tomatoes. You have more nicotine in eggplant than you do in an actual tobacco plant.
You know what? Let me stop you for 1 second. You know what's funny is that we just got 3 bottles of juice whose nicotine is derived from eggplants and potatoes.
Yep.
It's a new company. They're coming out with, you know, the juices aren't anything like super complex. It's like mango, melon, and some other fruit. But it's interesting because their nicotine is derived from fucking eggplant. That's awesome.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah.
nicotine.
I mean, tobacco 100%, you know?
How are you going to call it a tobacco product then? That's what I don't understand. How are you going to call that a tobacco product?
Because they want to regulate nicotine as a tobacco product because it is a drug to them, you know. And I mean, don't get me wrong, nicotine in its purest form, if handled incorrectly, can make you extremely sick because of the toxicology of it.
Yeah.
But if handled properly and in the right doses, it's a therapeutic. You know, they know that it decreases stress. People
Could you imagine your life without fucking nicotine?
Oh my God! I hate to say it, but so many people would be dead right now.
No doubt, man. No coffee, no nicotine. You know what I mean?
Oh,
might as well
God.
just fucking kill me, dude.
God. Now you're talking Satan.
You know, I think that we got a long way to go. I think that I don't think it's like the apocalypse like everybody thinks. I think there's ways around everything. You know, there was head shops even during the Reagan administration. You know, during the war on drugs, there was still head shops selling bongs. You know how they got away with it? They called it a tobacco pipe. You know how we're going to get away with selling a fucking DNA 200? It's a battery pack.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's a battery pack. Like, it's a battery pack with an optional 510 adapter.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. A, it's a battery pack. B, what you can do is find the old light bulbs that use the old 510 connectors. Hey, look,
Yes.
it's a fucking light.
just include a light bulb with every fucking every device, and it's a flashlight. It's a fucking flashlight now, you know? Fuck you guys. I think that's the easiest thing to beat, honestly, is the hardware limitations. I think that's not a big deal. I think we can get around it just with semantics. And if they want to play games, we can fucking play games.
Oh, right. This industry is all about games, unfortunately, you know?
Yeah, that's true. That's super true. And you know, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't think it's going to be the end of vaping, and I definitely don't think it's going to be like as bad as everybody's making it out to be. But we will definitely see. I am nervous. You know, don't get me wrong. As somebody who loves doing YouTube, I mean, I love doing YouTube. And if they took away all the products to review, what the fuck am I going to do? I would obviously keep doing YouTube in some capacity, but vaping is something fun that I enjoy doing, and I enjoy sharing with people on YouTube and helping people out. And, you know, I don't know. It's just weird. It's just weird. Like, how are we gonna do giveaways and shit? Like, everything is so in flux right now. There's no like for sure rules yet. So we don't even really know what to do yet.
They've kind of put the kibosh on the giveaways. You know, no free product to be given out. You know what I mean? Like, you can for promotional use. Yeah. Well, so say, you know, me, Mr. Cloud Chucker Extraordinaire, goes and wins a cloud comp. Other than taking cash for it, which I would have to, you know, then file as winnings under the lottery taxes, which they would take 65% of it. You know, what else would I want other than free liquid, a mod, an RDA, cotton wire couple of T-shirts. I mean,
you mean
hell,
a 510 flashlight?
This is a tobacco product. This hat's a tobacco product. These batteries are a tobacco product. You know, and that's what's killing me personally is like, how can you not expect somebody to want to promote a healthier lifestyle and help everybody out and, you know, reward those who do good with product, you know? And I don't know how it's going to end up being for reviewers too, because ultimately, you know, not because even though it's not a promotional use, you guys are still receiving the product for free for review. You know,
in the eyes of the company that's sending the product, it is promotional use, because that's what they're getting out of sending us the free product, is they're getting free promotion.
Right. Exactly.
We might even be saying something bad about the product, but it's still promotion.
Okay. Hey, any advertisement is good advertisement. Good or bad.
Any news is good news, right? You know what I mean, or whatever the fuck they say.
Exactly.
I'll tell you how some of the companies are going to handle that. I've already dealt with it. We had one company. I won't disclose which company, but it's a great company. They had their lawyers. They talked to their lawyers, figured out the best way to go about it. They had us pay them $50.
Yep.
For products. And then they donated $50 to our channel. So that's basically how it worked. We paid them for products; they gave us the money back.
Right. And
so it is what it is.
Goes towards, you know, the channel, the lighting, the equipment, you know, your time, ultimately, you know. And
it's just weird, you know, and I felt okay about that because it wasn't like they were giving us something. They were paying us back, you know what I mean? Like, I had already given them fucking $50 I couldn't afford. But I mean, it was cool. I mean, I think that's smart. But if this is what we're gonna do, if we're just gonna play these games where we're just trying to outfox the FDA, then what's the fucking point of these regulations? You know what I mean? Like, if we're just gonna get around them anyways, then I'm not. I mean, if this is honestly how we're gonna go about it, just by tricking our way through it, then I'm definitely not worried at all, because I think that we have enough smart people in this industry that we can fucking outsmart some bureaucrats from fucking Washington. So.
Oh, of course. Yeah. I mean, some of the best politicians are the biggest idiots out there. You know, I hate to say it, but again, politics 101.
Unfortunately, yeah. I mean, fuck. Unfortunately. Okay, so what else were we gonna talk about? What are you vaping on? Let's hear what you're vaping on. Let's get into some good shit.
Man. How many setups do I have going on right now? All right, so I've got Twisted Messes V1 on the Tesla Invader 3 box.
How's that Tesla 3?
That Tesla 3 is bomb. I picked it up at a vape convention, got it at wholesale. You know, only spent $40 on it. One of the best pulse width boxes I have ever used, and I've dropped this thing. I've beaten the bag out of it. It's gotten daily use since February, and you know, it's a hexome without being a hexome, and it's absolutely fantastic. One of my favorites.
It's cheap. I mean, it's not real pricey.
It's not real pricey at all. I think retails for about $60.
That's nothing. That's nothing.
So that, you know, and dual 18650. You know, you build 0.2 and you get MAW for days.
Yeah.
You build a series build on it, 0.4 or higher, crank it up to the, you know, the 9.16 volts that it can handle because of the pulse width, and you know, it's just as powerful as my noisy Cricket.
Yep.
You know, and I love my Cricket.
I love my Cricket too. It's just such a piece of shit, but I just love it.
Yeah,
the
exactly.
The fucker is so undependable, but I just love the fucking little bastard.
Yeah, I got the original V1, so it's got that button issue, you know.
Me too. Oh yeah.
You sit there, you clean out the button, you're fucking with it for like 18 minutes, and you're like, it's firing. Nothing.
Yeah, you know, dude, the other day we were filming reviews, and I had it all set up. I was going to use it for the review, and I tested it like 10 times before we started. I mean, like actually taking hits and shit. As soon as we started filming, it was like, nope. Oh. You know, Josh calls it the blasphemous insect.
Oh. That's definitely a Joshism right there.
Totally.
man.
But I think Tesla's a really underrated company. I have one of their little mech boxes. Like a hydrographics little mech box. I got it for like $23 on VaporBeast. It was like the deal of the day. And I use that fucker every day. It's just a 4.2 volt mech box, internal LiPo battery. The motherfucker is great. It lasts. It's like 4,000 mAh. It's a ton. It's a ton. You know what I mean?
You get battery life for days out of it. You know.
Yeah. And I don't have to worry about it. I can throw anything on it. You know what I mean? It's just compatible with everything. It just rocks. It rocks like as low as like I think 0.09. It will rock. So
yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love Tesla products. I think that they're really underrated.
They definitely are. You know, I mean, they had their issues with the the original Invader wood boxes with the.
I have one of those and I love it. I fucking love it.
I mean, well, that's also before MOSFET police came around and were just like, you're gonna overload that switch, and once the switch overloads, you create battery issues and everything, so it became a safety hazard. So then they put the MOSFET in the Invader 2 wood box, and everything is all good.
I have one of those too, and it is much better.
Yeah, it hits better, definitally.
It does hit better, without a doubt.
A lot safer to build lower. So
it's a piece of shit. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's built like shit. You know what I mean? It's like some fucking plaster wood.
That fucking thing.
And it, you get some liquid on it, and it stains that motherfucker real bad and shit. But whatever. I mean, it's not a $600 stabilized wood mod. It is like some wood they found out back that they threw some shit in. Threw a 510 on top.
What else have I got going on? RX 200 blacked out, murdered out with the avocado.
Oh god, I love the avocado. Jesus Christ.
Love it. I've got a set of stainless steel fused Claptons built by Chris Sherlock. Squarely, what up? Love you, kid. In here, and I'm vaping on Harpy from Nefarious, which is one of the e-liquids by one of my sponsors, Barn Brew. Fantastic vape. Can't go wrong with it whatsoever. And then I've got my mechs, man. Able with the Kennedy 24.
Now we're getting into some fucking big buck. Some big money shit right here.
Now we're getting into some high-end tube mechs here. So I got the Able Half Moon Mod sleeve on there. Green Mountain Vapor Cap on the Kennedy 24. This cap is awesome. I can build super low and it doesn't get super hot. And it keeps the flavor. Some of the comp caps that I've had, you lose some of the flavor, but this is one of my go-to setups for comping. What else?
It's a gorgeous fucking mod. And it's a gorgeous fucking top cap. I mean, the whole thing together is really nice.
Patinaed to shit my copper Able.
Oh, I love it. Oh my god.
Another a heat-treated stainless steel sleeve by my buddy Dan, with a heat-treated goon that I did myself. On top of that, rocking some 22 gauge Firewire, which is a comp wire company.
I know about Firewire.
Yeah.
Why spelled like WIYAH, right, or something like that.
Yep. Trevor Lee and Wesley. They're good friends of mine and fantastic dudes. They back everything that I do 100%. I rep the fuck out of them, and I don't ask for anything in return other than their friendship. You know what I mean?
Well, you know what? That would be a sponsorship that would make sense even if you did get products from them, because you're going to cloud comps. They're a fucking competition wire company, so that would make sense to me. You know what I mean? I wouldn't look down on you for that.
Right. Well, I mean, it's not like I'm asking for a sponsorship from them. You know what I mean? Like Trevor will occasionally send wire to the whole Vape Girl Vixen team. You know what I mean? And we ultimately use their wire for comp specifically only because Trevor likes our product. We like Trevor's product. We are one big conglomerate family between the two companies, and we support each other no matter what. So there's no real need for a sponsorship on my end because we're already repping each other, and that's family. You know what I mean? They're just family.
Absolutely.
And that's what's up.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it's all about. I think that when you find a company the people match, you know, like the way that you feel about vaping, and to match that your style of vaping, and who feel the same way you do about not just vaping, but just, you know, life in general. Like, you know,
Right.
sometimes you just match up with people, you know.
Right.
And I think that those are the good fits for sponsorships and shit, you know. Like I said, like I wouldn't take sponsorship, but I think that like for people who are doing a lot of social media promotion, a lot of Instagram shit, I think Instagram is like the #1 promotion tool for vaping.
100%. Instagram is where it's at when it comes to vaping, and you know, the cloud videos and promotions and everything. You know,
Totally, and I think that's fun. You know, if you're somebody who has 5,000 Instagram followers, and a company wants to send you some shit just so that you can use it and post pics and shit, that's the kind of sponsorship I think is okay. Right. Like if I was to do that, I think it would not be okay. That's all. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. As we've hit on a couple of times tonight.
Totally.
You know?
Totally. Absolutely. Yeah.
So, man, what else? I've got a bunch of mods in front of me. Timekeeper, again with another Green Mountain Vapor Products cap, but this one's got side airflow holes. This is the model 871 cap. This right
big old fucking holes in it too.
Oh, dude, fucking 3.2 millimeters.
Jesus Christ.
You can put one of the hottest builds you've ever put in that, and it's got more airflow than any of the other comp caps with the single holes.
Yeah.
My buddy Kenny owns Green Mountain Vapor Products. Shout out to Kenny Driscoll. Solid dude. Huge advocate for the industry. He just makes a fantastic product, and you know, any RDAs that I have that his caps will fit, they get those caps, and it doesn't matter to me. It's going to be used. And then my little new go-to kick-around mod is actually a last release from Continuous Current before they just got they traded hands with Duvo. I actually have a prototype Jux mod.
Wow, yeah.
Prototyped. It's got the Nuke RDA with the tactical warhead cap on it, and that's been my little banger. You know, Mac, bring it around everywhere so I don't have to.
Your little banger is like a $200 fucking setup. Let me just put that clear to everybody. His little carry around banger is like a $300 setup. So
yeah, right. I mean, I could easily pull a $1,200 hand check right now in just mods without the RDAs and caps, but I'm not like that. You know, I've worked hard for this stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff I've gotten in trade. A lot of it I've gotten as a gift. You know what I mean?
Well, and this is your big hobby. I mean, like, for us, vaping is a hobby. I mean, that's pretty safe to say.
100%. 100%. You know?
And you're a fan of that company, of that brand. I mean, and it's a fucking great brand. I've met those guys. You know what I mean? People will say what they want to say, but I think they're great guys. And their products speak for themselves.
100%. The machining quality on the AV products and the continuous current stuff and Duvo is bar none some of the best mechs that I've ever seen. And you know, I have 15 mechs other than my AV and Duvo setup. You know, and every single one of them is different. And I see the progression of, all right, this was a $40 mod by Watofo compared to the exact same mod by Bay City Vapor, basically.
Yeah.
I like this $130 Bay City Vapor over my Watofo, but the Watofo never let me down at all.
Are you talking about the Phantom?
Yeah, the Phantom that I stripped.
I have it right here. I have one. Or no, this is my. Never mind. This is what it used to look like. Black. This is my Praxis expensive mod. I do have one. I stripped mine down too. I sanded it all down and shit. I love that mod. I think that's like probably the best product that they've ever put out. I like Watofo. I think they put out some decent products. Hit and miss with some stuff, but I think the Phantom was total win for the price.
Totally. The fact that they actually put in a silver-plated contact, the fact that it actually had the line through the bottom of the contact so that it prevented battery arcing, you know.
Yeah.
The venting,
and they had a 510 adapter that you could use.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So you didn't have to go direct to battery even with it.
Right.
I always did, but
I've always done hybrid, you know. Ever since I got into comp dripping and everything like that. It's been hybrid connection all the way, just because science and everything, voltage drop, blah, 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 blah. Everybody has their own opinion on it. I'm not going to argue with people over a 0.1, 0.01 voltage drop between a certain kind of like beryllium copper versus standard copper, and naval brass versus, regular brass, and whatever about that, man. If it hits hard and it's what you like and what you want to rep, do it. Just do it.
Well, here's the deal is that when it comes to voltage drop, you're right. I mean, the difference between naval brass and the other brass and shit, like, I don't give a fuck about that. But when you're talking about direct to battery versus 510, there's a noticeable difference. Like, I could take a build and put it on something that's hybrid, and then put it on something that's direct, that's 510. You can tell a huge fucking difference. I mean, a huge difference. And that's just electricity science. I mean, you're going from direct to battery to having to go through a conduit, and no matter what, even if it's like gold plated fucking copper, it's still gonna conduct slower than direct to battery. So
asshole.
yeah, unless you got to suck Zeus's dick, to get a puff. I mean, I don't know. But okay, so you have a lot of nice mods. There's no fucking doubt about that shit.
Right.
I have a lot of shit. Not all of it's really nice, but I found a few things that I like a lot. This is one thing I use every day. It's the minigun mod. People don't really know about it. This company, I forget even what the company is. They made a 26650 called. It was called the fucking shotgun or something. I can't remember what it was called.
Yep, it was the shotgun mod. Now I'm trying to remember what the name of the company was.
Yeah, and they made the 26650, and that was like their most popular product. But then they also came out with this 18650 version of it. And it was, really not popular. And so it was like $190 when they launched it. But by the time I bought it, and specifically this teal color here, like the Tiffany blue, I paid less than $60. I think it was like $54. So and it's totally built like $190 mod. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, totally.
It's a gorgeous fucking mod, and I love it.
The name of the company is HDV.
You're right. Absolutely right. And I got a low serial number even. Mine is serial number 112.
Nice.
So I like that a lot. And I got the Heracles RDA on here. Super cheap, like in your $20 to $30 range. Really nice. Got the Velocity style deck on it and shit. And I have some quad parallel with one piece of flat wire, one piece of 28 gauge comp wire, and two pieces of 24 gauge comp wire. It's interesting. It's an interesting build.
That sounds interesting.
It is. And then I got my Praxis mod here. This is another really expensive mod. It's actually comes like this one that I bought. It comes with the Addy, the little tiny Addy. I forget what the fucking name of that thing is. Shows how much I know. But this is also a really expensive setup. But I got it for retail, or for what the guy was paying to get it, wholesale price.
Right.
Or even less than wholesale price. So that was cool.
Is it the original Praxis that has that weird indented button?
You mean the awesome button that you can throw in your backpack or briefcase and it won't auto fire? Yes. And you have the added benefit of when you hand it to Josh, he doesn't know what to do with it. So
that would be like me handing him one of my AV setups. So wait, how do you get this thing to fire?
He's like, what the fuck is this? But no, I got the Troll on here with an interesting build. It's like fuck, my brain is farting so hard right now. It's Sunday night, I can tell. It's like a parallel, but it's got like one piece of Clapton or Van Halen wire, as I call it.
Yeah.
One piece of Van Halen wire and one piece of 24 gauge comp wire from Wick and Vape, the guys who make cotton bacon. They have their wire that they have out is pretty special. It's like a nichrome blend, but real soft, real malleable and shit. Like you can kind of straighten it just by pulling it, as opposed to like throwing it in the drill and shit.
It's a nichrome 90 base, and then they tweak.
They tinker with it, and it's got a real low nickel content to it. So
that's the same thing with the Firewire. People are sitting there, Grinch and comp tripwire, and then tripwire and hot wires and Royal and immolation everybody's just like, oh well, it's a proprietary blend, which ultimately it is. You know what I mean? Firewire is based off of a stainless steel comp wire, but Wes and Trevor have done their research into making the best low resistance, cleanest wire that they possibly can for the best flavor, with also keeping in mind any of the, you know, the hydrocarbons that come off of wire when you're dry burning them. Yeah. So again, lower nickel content, lower
You gotta get that nickel out of there. Nickel was a mistake from the get go. Trying to use nickel was a fucking mistake, and I've used nickel quite a few times. And I tell you what, I personally, I don't care what anybody says. I personally could taste the metal.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like some people are like, no, there's no way. Bullshit. I know what I taste. I can taste the fucking metal. So eat shit. You know what I mean? That's all I gotta say. If you try to tell me I didn't fucking taste it, I tasted it. You know what I mean?
Well, that's another reason why I like some of these comp wires that are based off of stainless steel. You know, if I dabble occasionally in the temp control. I'm not a huge fan of it. I've never really been a huge fan of it. But, you know, when it first came out, I was just like, oh, I'll never have a dry hit again. I'm all for it. And, you know, I started with NI200. Everybody started with NI200.
Everybody, yeah.
And then titanium wire came out. Everybody was doing TI wire.
Oh, God.
And that stuff was that nickel was. You know, if you did not build it correctly, and you had to build this stuff 100% correct. And
titanium was even more finicky than nickel.
Oh God, yeah, unbelievable.
You know what I'm saying? Like you really had to have it spaced perfectly and shit. Otherwise, it just wouldn't work. I mean, you could get it to fire, but it wouldn't temperature control
at all.
At all.
At all.
And you could rock that shit just straight wattage though too.
Oh yeah. Well, certain ones, blends that you could do in standard wattage mode, only because it had a higher chromium content, which is the base for Canthol. But that's still, you know, still iffy. You know what I mean? Like
I wouldn't do it personally.
Base 4 temp control on a mech and have the chance of it blowing up in my face because the coil melts and hits the bottom of the deck
while you're firing it. Yeah, no, you know that's the thing. Yeah, you know, is that and when I got my titanium wire in the mail, that shit was fucking dirty, dude. I mean, it was like the wire was nasty, and it was like greasy and shit. I'm like, I can't fucking. And then if you like fire it, it kind of it can't hold up real well to it. So
no, I don't know. That's why I'm liking the stainless steel wire. You know, it holds up under the heat. It does temp control perfectly, and a lot of these comp wires that are out there, if you're into temp control, buy the comp wire.
Yeah,
it'll work. It will give you the lowest resistance, but you'll be able to ramp right up to the temperature that you want it at, and it will stay there.
Yeah, no, I think stainless steel is definitely the future of wire. To me, I mean, the people who can build with stainless steel, I'm really impressed. Like people who can make stainless steel Claptons, every time I try, it shit just bunches up in the drill like crazy. So I don't know how to fuck with stainless steel, but I think that that's the future. I buy stainless steel Claptons and shit, and I've had them given to me by my boy Yeti Wire and shit. I think that they're great. I love stainless steel. I think that it adds no flavor to the vape. I think that it ramps up. Right now, it's hot. You know what I mean? And I think that it cools down really quick too. I think it's the perfect wire. It's like you can't like it doesn't react to organic shit. You know what I mean? Like that's why they use stainless steel in surgical instruments and shit.
Exactly. And a lot of the stuff that we're using nowadays in vaping is food grade and medical grade. You know, you're looking at 315, 317L stainless, which is food grade material. Then you're looking at the 413 stainless, which is medical grade. You know, and
I remember when I started vaping, they said I remember people saying you can't use ever stainless steel wire. It was like a joke, like a newbie's gonna put stainless steel wire in there and fucking burn them and blow themselves up and shit. It's just so weird how things go full circle, you know.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and again, you know, we're in an industry that constantly wants to evolve, And now, back to the regs. Now we can evolve. We're stuck with what we've got. But I'm glad that companies like Immolation and Comp and Firewire and Comp Life and Hot Wires and Grinch and everybody like that was able to come out with a safe product for everybody to be able to use, learn how to build with. Now, I mean, you really need to know battery safety and Ohm's law and everything when dealing with stainless steel wire. It's one of the lowest resistance wires that are out there.
They don't even consider it resistance wire.
Right.
They don't consider it resistance wire. I mean, that's the thing. That was what I was always told when I was first starting 2010 and on. It was like, you can only use resistance wire, shit like Kanthal, shit like nichrome. You cannot use stainless steel. It's non-resistant. You know what I mean? It's just going to go straight.
Again, why they added a little bit of, of the chromium Kanthal nichrome blend into the stainless steel to give it a little bit of resistance. Yeah. Now, I mean, if you were using pure stainless steel, yeah, it's going to fold. You know what I mean?
It's just going to drop on you for sure.
It will vape for 0.2 seconds, but it's going to fold. It's like using jewelry wire. It's dumb.
It just ain't going to work. I mean, that's,
right. I mean, like 22 gauge, because I build with it so much, Firewire, 22 gauge, 8 wraps on a 3mm screwdriver is a 0.08 to a 1.0, depending on how long the lead lengths are. You know what I mean?
You mean a 0.10 to a 0.08? Oh, really low. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? That's not dangerous.
I'm going to walk a 0.01 on an EFS battery. Let's do this. So, I mean, learn. If I have any advice to give anybody who's getting into comping and building super dumb low, don't ever go below 0.05 if you don't know what you're doing and you don't have good batteries that can handle, the amp loads, which there's only 2 batteries out there that can handle 100 amp pulse for the first 4 fires. You know what I mean? And that's the Samsung 25R and the
25R is the shit.
And the Sony VTC 4s and 5s, you know what I mean? Like,
but don't buy the Sonys because you don't know what you're getting anymore.
Well, exactly. Now you don't know because they discontinued the VTC 4s, and the VTC 5s are being cloned left, right, and center, and they're saying that they're authentics. The only way to know if they're authentics or not is to actually take off the wrap, find the code, go to Sony, type it in, and see if it's one of their authentic batteries or not. And it's still, then you got to rewrap the fucking battery. And if you don't know what you're doing on that, then you're fucked.
Trust me, as somebody who's tried to rewrap batteries, that shit isn't fucking as simple as you might think it is. You know what I mean? Like, my wife knows how to do it pretty well, but I'm shit at it. You know what I mean? And it's dangerous. You gotta unwrap batteries sitting there. It's like a little bomb sitting there. In my opinion. So
we got some self-rewrapped 25Rs. These were the baby blues. Before the 25R5s came out.
Where'd you get the wraps at?
I got my wraps at Kidney Puncher, kidneypuncher.com.
Okay. Yeah.
Big shout out to my homie Raylo.
I got mine from iLumen. You know what I'm talking about? The battery company? Yeah, iLumen. Yep. I got the black ones too, the same kind.
Yeah, Illumin's a great company. They sell only strictly authentic batteries.
Yep. You know what you're gonna get, and it's cheaper than everywhere else. Kidney Puncher's good. Kidney Puncher's good. I mean,
but when I buy my batteries, I'll support my local B&Ms because I know I'm getting the right product, and I'll give them the money first. But if I'm buying like a sleeve of batteries that I know I'm going to be comping with, I'm buying them right off of IMR batteries or Illumin.
Yeah.
Great. Getting a case every time I buy a set of 4,
It's nice. Yeah, it's nice.
And making sure that I'm getting the right battery, and you're ultimately getting them when you buy them from them at wholesale cost.
Exactly. No, and the more you buy, they start cutting you fucking deals, dude. Which is cool. iLumen's cool as fuck for batteries.
40% off from IMR batteries right now in coupon codes.
IMR is awesome, and iLumen. I think are the two. If you're gonna buy batteries online, those are the 2 only places you should buy. And you know what? something about that though. Here's another thing that people don't know. From battery to battery, they're different. I mean, every battery is a unique creation. Honestly, like if you go watch Pegasus Vape Academy, he has a battery series where he has all the machinery and shit, and he'll buy like 10 EFS purples, and he'll test them, and every single one will have different fucking readings, dude. And it's the same with, I mean, every battery, 25Rs. I mean, 25R is a pretty stable cell, but from cell to cell, there are differences, and there is a chance you could get one that has a weak amp load limit.
Right.
You know, you just need to really know what you're doing, especially if you're going to rock mechs.
Before I even think about looking at other batteries, you know, for like my regulated devices or my mechs and everything like that, a good person to follow, and I know his name gets thrown around, Battery Mooch, John Moochow.
I've never even heard of him.
Really?
Really?
Dude, man, he's got a subreddit page that he works in the energy industry. And what he started to do, what he started to do was to provide the proper testing for every single cell that vapors use out of his own dime and his own time, and saying, these are my recommended batteries. Here's the top 10. Here's all of the specs on every 18650, 26650, 18350, 18450. Here's all the specs on everything.
There's cells I haven't heard fucking people use in a long time, 18350s and shit.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's got lists. He's got lists, and he's got a chart that is just phenomenal, and he's constantly updating it. And you just check it out. He's got a Facebook page, Battery Mooch. You know, you can type in Mooch's recommended battery list, and it will pop up on Google Images. And you know, the top rated ones, you're looking at the LG HE6s, LG HE4s, the
I love HE4s. I love HE4s. I love HE the old green ones. I forget what they were green, right? The HE2s. Those are red.
The HE2s are red, and then they have the pink, and then they have the cream ones, which are the HE6s.
And those fuckers they have a really high amp load, but they have like 1,000 mod. They're like so low on the mod, dude.
Yeah, those are awesome. Those are awesome for comping, but you're only going to get 2 pulls out of it. You know what I mean?
Four or five like pulls where you're going to be getting 4 volts, and then it's below 3.9 after that. I mean,
exactly.
But I know that I can put on like a really low, like super low, like 0.05. You know what I mean? Which I don't recommend to anybody who's rocking mechs. You know what I mean? And I think no, go ahead.
Lowest 0.08. And that's only because that's typically the limit on most comps that people have. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No. Here's kind of like my rule of thumb, as I know a lot about battery safety, and I know a lot about electricity. You know what I mean? Just because I've done a lot of research on it, and because I love mech bots. And I tell you what, like if I have a build that makes my battery hot, or my fucking button hot on something like a Fuhattan, I'm building too low. You know what I mean? Like if my fucking Fuhattan giant fucking magnet ass button is getting hot, I'm building too low.
You're building way too low.
Building way too fucking low. And here's the thing, I never hardly ever use regulated devices. I just got a DNA 200 from my boy Dan Carneal. He's from the group. He's a great guy.
Oh yeah. I love Dan. Come on, man.
Dan the Carnivore Carneal. That's my nickname for him.
Great.
Yeah, and so I hardly ever use them though, you know what I mean? But like, so I never know what my builds are ohmed out to. I just kind of know, you know what I mean? Because I've done it so fucking 1,000 times at this point. But like when it comes to people asking, like people who want to blow clouds, and people who really want to chuck clouds, they see you hitting a mech and they see you really like firing off a fucking room filling cloud. I always just tell them, grab a 200 watt mod, you know what I mean? Something like the RX 200, something like the Rouleau. Put a fucking 0.5 build in there, like literally like a half ohm build. Rock it to 50 watts, and you're fucking chucking clouds safe.
All day.
You know, that's not what I want. That's not what I want. I want the direct to battery. Fucking, I hit the button. I'm getting fire right now. That's what I want. But I've kind of gotten there slowly. You know what I mean? Like I started fucking, my first RDA experience was literally, I was rocking an MVP, the original one, the 11 watt MVP, building 1.5 ohm coils, single coils in my fucking Patriot.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so like in 11 watts, you can blow clouds. Like that's what people understand. Like as long as you're building to whatever device you have, like if you have a regulated device, don't build super low. There's no point. There's no fucking point. You know what I mean?
Just ramp up the wattage and you're good to go.
You know what? Here's the thing. Like if you have like even like a 0.7, like not even a 0.7, 0.6, 0.5 at 30 watts, that's a comfortable vape. And that's nothing. I mean, you really want to check clouds, throw it up to 60 watts and you're at 0.5 and you're going to be getting nice clouds. So I always just like, I try to like lead people that way. You know, you grab an RX200 for so cheap, for less than $50 nowadays. I mean, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And you got 200 watts at your disposal that you're never going to use. So
right. Unless you're building something that's going to take that amount of time to ramp up, such as, you know, staggered fuse alien douche canoe fucking
with eight cores, you know what I mean? Exactly. It's just like a pound of wire.
I got a triple stage frame staple that you know that's parallel with fucking.
If you're gonna build big fat coils, they have to be so low ohm. My boy Yeti built this frame staple. It's a single coil. It's giant. I mean, it's fucking huge. And it ohms out to like 0.06. It's really low. And it fires, I mean, it still takes a while to ramp up. And it's low. I mean, it's 0.06.
And it takes
like way lower. And it's still not instant, you know what I mean? So, you know, if you're having crazy fucking thick ass coils like that, you need something like an RX200 where you can pump it up to like 150 watts to get that immediate response that everybody's looking for. All right. So, speaking of stuff that I'm using though, besides this DNA 200, which I love, I'm actually really in love with it. I got skins and shit coming for it. I'm all fucking gonna baby it. But I got this new tank. We're doing some work with Element Vape. It's like an online retailer. So they're sending out some products for us. And one of the products they sent out was this new iJoy Limitless XL tank.
Yep.
It comes with 3 coil options, right? It comes with like a pre-made coil that they give you. And then it has 2 RTA sections, a single coil RTA section and a dual coil RTA section. The coil that it comes with, on the side straight says, best used between 50 and 215 watts.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So it's like nowadays, man, you don't even have to do an RTA or an RDA. You know, you fucking buy this new tank.
I mean, look at the 200 watts. Look at the TFV8. You know, Squirrely just picked one up the other day, and the what was it? The sextuple freaking whatever it was, the sextuple Clapton Van Halen coil that it's best rated at 75 usage between 75 to 200 watts. Best range is 125 to 170, and he's just sitting there. He's just like, man, I don't even have this thing up at 90 yet, and he's fucking blooming out my fucking porch.
That's crazy shit. You know what? Here's the thing with this. This thing is badass. We're going to be reviewing it and shit. It doesn't even come alive until you hit 110 watts. I mean, because it's got so much wire in there. That's the thing. It is low. It's like 0.17. It's pretty low. But it's got like 6 fucking coils in there. And so like I threw it on my neck I threw it on the Foo Hatton thinking, hey, that's going to be nice. It takes forever to ramp up, like we were just talking about. So it works best on something like this. But I mean, if you're wanting a real cloudy experience with good flavor, grab yourself a 200 watt mod. Grab yourself something like the TFBY8 or the fucking iJoy Limitless XL. And that's what I would tell somebody new who's looking to get into like cloud blowing. You know what I mean?
Right. If you're looking to get into cloud chasing without having to go crazy, and you know that you can get into like an outlaw comp with a tank, then so be it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right. And it's like I don't want somebody coming. Here's what I'm always afraid of: somebody coming back and being like, I mimicked what you did. I built really low on a mech mod, and now half my face is burned off. You know what I mean? I know that shit doesn't happen. I mean, I know that, like, for the most part, that never happens, but it always scares me. So, like, when new people are asking, I always just try to steer them towards safety. You know what I mean? Like, safety first. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. 100%.
Oh,
Yeah.
what time is it? Oh, shit. All right, well, let's start wrapping it up, I guess, for this week. Paul, I'd love to have you come back, like, next week or something, if you have time.
Definitely.
That'd be awesome.
Let's get this YouTube thing squared away and hopefully get them able to chat again. And I'll jump on again. I'm up for Sunday nights, man.
Cool. Yeah, Sunday works perfect for me. That's awesome. Okay, so yeah, like we were saying, something happened tonight with the Google Hangout shit where chat didn't work. I mean, everybody already knows that. Without the chat, this is a whole different experience. There's a lot of direct interaction that comes from chat, which I think is important. And so, this was great. This is actually the first time me and Paul have actually had a chance to talk.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Like in person, you know what I mean? Like actually talking and hearing each other's voices and shit. So that's, for that alone, this was great.
It was fantastic, man. I'll gladly jump on anytime, man. It's been a good year and a half that I've known you guys, and it's good to be, actually interacting with the channel, other than swinging the silent band hammer and creating the theme song.
Paul, if anybody doesn't know, Paul was our original admin. He was our first admin for the group, for the Facebook group. You were the original one. So Paul's been around forever, and man, he's just a great guy. You're a great guy, Paul. We've always loved having you, man. Be a part of this whole crew, and and it just shows that vaping can connect people. I mean, we're here in California, and like without vaping, we would have never got to meet Paul. He's over in Boston, and across the country and shit. So it's really like it's connected all of us, and we're all kind of like a big family. And so that's the thing I love most about this whole experience with OverDoseVapes is getting a chance to kind of connect with people like me all over the fucking world, really. So. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Really appreciate it. Like I said, thank you, Paul, so much for coming on.
Oh, dude, thanks for having me on, and I'll gladly join you anytime.
All right, so stay on the line. I'm going to stop the broadcast, but I want to just we'll wrap up a little bit off camera here.